Welcome to this video where I show how to write a very simple program to handle multiplication, addition, and subtraction within Python. And you can think of this program as being almost like computer flashcards. And so the way that the program works is that it just asks very simple questions. So in this case, you can see it's asking to solve 6 times 5. You get an answer of 30, and it tells you that that's correct. You then enter 1 to play again, a 0 to exit. I entered 1, and so then playing again, 4 times 9. I put in an incorrect answer that time, and so it tells me that that is not correct. The correct answer is actually 36. And then again, I put in a 1 to say I want to continue playing it as for 9 times 1. I put in the correct answer, so it tells me that it's correct. And then we can put in a 0 to exit. And so I wanted to show how that program was actually written. Again, it's very simple, very straightforward program. So one of the first things that we do is we use this, what's called the random method, because I'm looking to get these random integers. And in this case, I'm using random integers from 0 to 9. And if we hover over the random integer, it says that it returns a random integer in the range from A to B, and it includes both endpoints. So in our case, if we use 0 to 9, it's going to include both 0 and 9. So for this, you can actually use any range that you want to. But for this example, we're going to do the multiplication, addition, and subtraction just from 0 to 9. So what I do is I initialize this variable play, and I just set it equal to 1. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to use a while loop. And so since I initialize play to 1, we know that the while loop is going to run because it says while play equals 1. And one of the things about Python is that it does use the double equal sign. So you have to do while play equals 1. And then you put a colon at the end of the while statement. Here's where we use that randint function that we got from the random method. And so we're saying that x is a random integer from 0 to 9 and y is a random integer from 0 to 9. And then what we do is a very simple print statement. We're asking the user now to solve, and anything that I want to be printed out as text or to communicate as text to the user, I put in quotes. So I say solve, and then the x, the variable x, times y. So then solve and times are going to be things that are going to be printed out directly, and you can see it here. But then x and y are going to be whatever numbers were assigned to x and y for that pass through the while loop. I have something commented here, so we're going to skip that over. By the way, the commented statements are shown by the hashtag. Now I'm actually prompting the user for some input. So in line 18, I'm asking for an answer. I'm setting this variable answer. I'm getting a value for that by using this input statement. And I want this value to be an integer, so I do use the int. So here I'm asking for the answer, and then whatever they put in is going to be assigned to this variable or this object answer. So then I say if answer, and again it's the double equal sign, if it's equal to x times y, then, and I have something else commented out by the hashtag, so we're going to skip that. I'm going to say print that is correct. If not, then we use this simple if statement, or this else, and we say print that is not correct, and then we want to let them know what the correct answer is. So we say that the correct answer is x times y. Again, here I have something that's commented out, and we're going to skip that for right now. Then what I do is, again, I want to then reset the value of play to let me know whether or not I need to go back through the while loop or whether or not I should exit. So everything that's indented, Python uses this indentation. So everything that is indented goes with this while loop. And so I'm still setting play within the while loop. And so if they put in 1, then play is still going to be equal to 1, and it's going to continue back through the while loop. However, if they put in anything other than 1, in this case, in the text, I put 0 to exit. But in reality, they could put in anything, and just as long as it's not 1, it's going to exit. So if they exit, now I'm unindented in line 29, and you can see that it says print, thanks for playing, and then it'll exit. By the way, I also wanted to mention that if you're wondering what this is a free program, and I actually use Anaconda for writing these Python programs. And within Anaconda, I use something called Spider. And there's lots of different editors out there that you could use, probably different ways you can use Anaconda. It just happened to be the easiest way that I found to show this. So let's say that maybe your kids aren't old enough to be doing the multiplication tables. Maybe you want for them to do addition. There's some actually very simple changes to this program. Basically, anywhere where you see a times sign, so here we want to print x plus y. Here we would want to check if the answer is x plus y. And if it's correct, then you print out that it's correct. But if not, we want to give them the correct answer. So we want to change that times to a plus. And I don't think we need to go through it because it's pretty straightforward. But you can easily change this to an addition problem if you wanted to. Now, subtraction can be a little bit more difficult unless you're okay with the negative numbers. Because if x comes out to be 4, but then y comes out to be 6, and you do 4 minus 6, you're going to get negative 2. So in that case, and again, if you're okay with that, then that's fine. But that's why I had these commented statements, because again, it's very straightforward to fix that. Now I'm going to comment out the times. I'm going to uncomment what I need to do for the minus. So here what I'm doing is I am printing that I want for them to solve the maximum value of x or y, whichever one is the maximum is going to go first, minus whichever one is the minimum. By the way, I did test this to make sure that if they're both the same value, that this code still works. So if they're both 8, then the code will still work fine. But by doing this, you will avoid the negative numbers. So again, we have to make these changes. So I got to make it here. So what I want to do is I'm no longer using the times. So instead of getting rid of that code, I'm just going to comment it out with the hashtag. And I'm going to delete the hashtag here. And that's going to ask if the answer is equal to the maximum of x or y minus the minimum of x or y, then you go to these else statements. And then again, here I had x times y. So you can either delete that. In this case, I'm just going to comment it out. And I'm going to uncomment the correct statement for subtraction. I think that everything else is okay, so I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to tell it that I want it to run. And now it says to solve 9 minus 3. So let's make sure that this is working correctly. So that seems to be giving the right answer. 9 minus 1, and let's say that we misread that and we put in 7. So now it tells us that's not correct, that the correct answer is 8. So this appears to be working okay. So hopefully you found this to be helpful if you're learning how to use Python, or if you wanted to develop this program maybe for your kids if they're learning multiplication and they like to work on the computer, then this is something that's very simple. Or if you have someone who wants to learn about the coding, this can be helpful also. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting more Python examples up as I have more time. And thanks for watching this video.